everyone. It's Mrs. Rice from the Georgia Cyber Academy, and we're here today for piano
Mom,
lessons.
aren't you supposed to be teaching English?
Oh, my bad. English lessons. Come on with me downstairs and we'll have a lit comp lesson. Hey, it's Mrs. Rice here to talk to you today about public speaking. How many of you have ever had an assignment to come and do a recitation or public speaking for the class? I'm sure a lot of you have. I know I have. But I kind of like it after all this time. Today I'm going to talk to you about several hints on how to make your public speaking a little more fun and easy. Let's look at number 1. Hints for public speaking and recitations. Number 1, know your material. It's important that you find a topic that you're really interested in. If you love your topic, it's definitely going to come out. You're going to have believability, the knowledge is going to be there. Don't pick something that's way off in left field just because someone else is picking it. Make sure it really rings of you. Second, practice, practice, practice. I can't stress that enough. If you have an important speech to give it in front of the mirror, give it in front of your friends, in front of your parents. Practice your breathing. Practice pauses. Don't just speed through it all as fast as you can to get it finished. It's important that your timing is good. Number 3, know your audience. It's important to know who you're speaking to. If you've written a speech for all guys and a whole bunch of girls show up, you're going to quickly need to go back and make some changes to your notes. Also, if you're actually speaking at a banquet hall, you can go greet the people before you speak and get to know them. You could even share a funny story. You know, on the way in, I met so-and-so, and roll them into the speech as well. So that's important. Next, one big hint for me is to learn to speak to just one person. I used to get so nervous after I had written a book and I was going around speaking and I had all these radio interviews. I remember one time my voice was shaking and I was thinking, oh, I have to convince all of Pittsburgh to buy my book. And I was so nervous, and my writing partner pulled me aside and she said, let me tell you a hint. Just think that your old college roommate called and you are talking to her about the 1, 2, or 3 things that you're most excited about on this book. Just like you'd be sitting over coffee going, hey, let me tell you what we found in our research. Don't be speaking to the whole city of Pittsburgh or Atlanta, wherever you are. Speak to one best friend and tell them what you're most excited about. And the enthusiasm and energy will be conveyed in a better way. Next, it's important to relax. Take a deep breath in and out and relax. Pause, smile. Don't worry about saying 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Let there be that nice pause. Greet your audience, sometimes with something funny or a little story, while you kind of catch your breath and you relax. Then visualize success. It's important to see yourself, to see a picture of you succeeding, doing a great job. Close your eyes and think of yourself in front of that class, in front of that group, doing an excellent job, with everything relaxed, with your message clear, with conveying the right tone, and then your audience clapping and loving what you're saying. If you picture it up here, it'll be a lot easier for it to come out in real life. Know that they're rooting for you. The people that you're speaking to want to hear you. They have come to hear you. They've paid to hear you sometimes, and they will be rooting for you if you give them the goods that you've prepared. Don't apologize. If you do happen to be nervous, don't say, oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm really nervous today. It's okay. Be a little nervous. If your voice is a little quivery, move along. They'll forgive you, and most of them won't even notice it. So never apologize. And remember that it's about the message. It's not about you. It's not about how you look and whether your hair is just right or they're thinking that you're cute. It's about your message. When I used to go to speak to teenage girls, I would always think, You know what? I'm going to speak to one person in the audience. I'm going to speak to that one girl I met before I walked up on this stage who really needs to hear what I have to say. She needs the research that I spent a year and a half doing. And I wish I had had it when I was her age. So I'm going to talk to the old version of me, or I'm going to talk to her, but I'm going to pick one person and I'm going to tailor my message to them. I'm handing them on a silver platter all the best things that I know, all the best things I've researched. And so they want those goods. It's not about me, it's about my message that I'm handing them. Then gain experience. As you do public speaking more and more, you'll gain an air of authority and you'll become the expert at what you're talking about after a while. We always start out with, the posture that I'm not the expert, but I know how to pull in the experts in my writing. Well, after a while, your voice, your tone, your message will gain you that sense of authority, that you know what you're speaking of, and it will build your confidence. So your homework is to analyze a speech. You're going to go to the internet, perhaps you have some CDs, perhaps you have some teaching tapes at home, YouTube, and I want you to analyze someone's speech. I want you to ask, how interesting was it? How well did they present it? Could you tell, was there an audience? How well did they respond? How well did you respond? What are some things they could have done better? And I want you to write a little page on that, 1 to 3 paragraphs, and tell me how they did on their speech. And I want you to find something worthy to memorize. Maybe there's an ex-president whose words you just love and you want to cherish those. It's important to memorize. It expands the gray matter and it helps us come up with good and witty and powerful material for when we're speaking. So this week, read, find something worthy of memorizing and analyze someone else's public speaking. Thank you so much for joining me today.